there are students at the university. I quite agree with Alessandro Russo's vision of the last positive sequence of modern university. In Europe and North America, universities were at their zenith during the years 1945, 1965, for political reasons linked to the Cold War. The battlefield was not only a military battlefield, it was also a civil battlefield, a pacific yet very serious confrontation. Western states had to prove equal to socialist states as far as education and schooling were concerned, and in 1945 they were very far from being able to compete with socialist educational systems. So I will defend the idea that what put an end to modern university is not liberalism, but political movements of the 70s everywhere in the world, from Western movements to the Chinese Cultural Revolution. In fact, liberalism is now destroying places that had already been declared obsolete by these movements when they rose up against the existing both socialist and capitalist worlds. So we have a responsibility in that end. Mobilized students and workers asked for totally different places where they could learn all together. The most decisive events took place in China when thousands of workers claimed that neither the socialist state nor the Communist Party knew what was at stake for workers in socialist factories. In my words, I would say that from the standpoint of these workers, the socialist state and the Communist Party no more delivered any true knowledge to identify a possible new figure of the factory and of work. Thought had to be reopened, and it meant that everyone had to become able to think by oneself what new path should be invented. The question created a huge disorder and opened a void into politics. And the void is still there. It is a point, it is a true point, because it is not only a void or a gap in and about politics. It is also a void, a gap about mankind, a silently increasing void, leaving us in front of a kind of limit. Most people today experiment a devastated figure of their work, and we cannot separate university of the figure of the work.